sound that's very reminiscent of the 60s and 70s.
Of operational commitments that it had to return to France before taking part in the public weekend. So great to see it back with us now, running in for a really good demonstration of its charisma and its qualities, the Breguet Atlantique ATL2.
The Atlantique was designed in response to a 1958 NATO specification as a replacement for the Maritime Lockheed Neptune. First flight took place in 1961 and it was manufactured between 1961 and 1987. It's described as a mid-wing monoplane with a so-called double-bubble fuselage, which comprises a pressurized crew cabin above an unpressurized 9-meter weapon bay. The latter will be displayed in the coming minutes. This is the ATL2 model, which completely replaced the original Atlantique in French Navy service. And here, a really nice view of the upper surfaces. Regular crew on board one of these aircraft, numbers up to 14. And in terms of weapons, it can carry the AM-39 Exocet air-to-surface missile, depth chargers and torpedoes for its conventional maritime roles. The Atlantique has been operated by France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands and Pakistan. As Ben says, it utilises a crew of 14, but with a capacity for a further 12 passengers or a relief crew, in order to make use of its 18-hour endurance and exceptional 9,000-kilometre ferry range. And look out now for the forward turret having been deployed and that weapons bay open. Complete with dummy Exocet missile visible in the weapons bay. Atlantiques also escort submarines from France's strategic naval forces to dissuade hostile activity in the Atlantic. Since the end of the Cold War, these aircraft, like a lot of other maritime patrol aircraft, MPAs, have also found a new purpose of over land as opposed to over water intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance activity in the current operational theatres. And those, for these airplanes, have been many and varied. For example, in Opération Serval, France's effort in 2013 to force jihadist militants out of Mali, Atlantiques were used as bombers with Paveway 2 laser-guided bombs in their weapons bays, as well as for ISR. During Operation Shamal, French operations against the so-called Islamic State in Syria and Iraq, Atlantiques have supported French fighter bombers from both the Navy and the Air Force. They started off deploying one of these aircraft to perform battle damage assessments, then configured it as a bomber. And they flew ISR sorties in support of strike aircraft missions, including during efforts by the Iraqi armed forces to liberate Mosul. Recent deployments have been to the Philippines as part of the Clemenceau 25 mission to the Pacific with the French aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle and its carrier strike group, to Djibouti for sorties over the Red Sea, to the Persian Gulf. There have been Black Sea operations out of Romania and Bulgaria,
operating over the Mediterranean, from Greece, and over Cyprus, the Baltic, the North Sea, and the Atlantic. Bringing the aircraft in now for a search and rescue support configured pass. And these fine aircraft, these ATL2s, all new built by Dassault, the Atlantique having originally been a Breguet design, should be in service for many years to come. This is one of the last aircraft in what's known as the Standard 5 configuration still flying. Most of them have been upgraded to what the French Navy calls Standard 6, with a new multifunction radar, tactical computers, upgraded acoustic suite, and all sorts of other changes. And it's very interesting to see the so-called MAD, magnetic anomaly detector boom, protruding from the back of the aircraft, a classic configuration for so many maritime patrol aircraft, including the RAF Nimrod MR1s and MR2s, and indeed the Lockheed P3 Orion, which is represented by one of the CP-140M Auroras of the Royal Canadian Air Force here in the Static Park. The crew now setting up for landing. Lieutenant David is the pilot and Lieutenant Tommy is the aircraft captain. Also on board, providing lookout, are Chief Petty Officer Benjamin, Petty Officer Baptiste and Petty Officer Fred, and flight engineers Master Chief Petty Officer Patrice and Chief Petty Officer Maxime.